Common themes of empowerment are processes, activities, and measures that increase the degree of autonomy and self-determination in people, communities, and organizations. So what is empowerment? If you ask several different people, you will get several different answers. I asked several of my friends what they feel empowerment means to them, and this is what they had to show me. Social workers utilize empowerment in generalist practice. Think analytically about how macro systems affect the way people have access to resources and support from their communities. According to Kirst Ashman, by definition, empowerment is the enhancing of individuals, groups, families, and the community's ability and power and control to determine their own destinies. The orientation of empowerment focuses on goals and strategies for implementing change. Empowerment theory consists of principles and a framework for organizing the knowledge that we have using the concepts of strength and resiliency. The framework basically provides a basis on how we examine things and puts an importance on supporting the development of self-confidence. Empowerment in generalist practice involves critical thinking about how macro systems affect people. To what extent are people getting the resources and support they need from their communities and organization within their communities, and why or why not, according to Kirst Ashman. On strengths can provide a sound basis for empowerment. Referred to as strengths perspective, this orientation focuses on clients' resources, capabilities, knowledge, abilities, motivations, experiences, intelligence, and other positive qualities that can be put to use to solve problems and pursue positive changes. Dennis Saloby, one of the founders of Strengths Perspective, which is a basis for the empowerment theory, focuses on several principles that involve the strengths perspective, including every individual, group, family, and community has strengths. What is good in your life? Everyone has strengths. Trauma and abuse, illness, and struggles may be problematic, but they may also be a source of challenge and opportunity. Community problems may be detrimental to the community's well-being, but they can also be viewed as a jumping-off point for improvement and growth. Let's reflect on a terrible experience. Were you able to turn it around? And did you learn something from it? That you do not know the upper limits of the capacity to grow and change and take individual, group, and community aspirations seriously. It is important to set goals and to pursue opportunities when they occur. We best serve clients and communities by collaborating with them. Social workers are most effective when working together with community members to identify issues, develop plans, and achieve results. Every community is full of resources. We need to find them. Social workers' major role is to connect people with resources they need to empower them to improve their lives. Caring, caretaking, and context are key. Social workers care about others and are concerned about the environment. They recognize the communities and social services organizations should take care of their citizens and people they serve. As discussed, the strengths perspective provides a foundation for empowerment theory and is applied to working with communities. It is important to understand that all communities have assets and strengths. Communities that work together can improve resources and services, and that every community has resources. Communities can improve if there is a focus on what they have and what they can enhance. Social workers can assist communities by helping identify community issues, work with community members to develop plans, and assist in reaching their goals. It is critical to care about the community's overall well-being and provide community members with support and help, according to Kirst Ashman. There are 5 dimensions of how empowerment theory is applied to groups and communities. They are social justice, consciousness raising, mutual aid, power, and multicultural socialization. Social justice refers to people having the right to enjoy equal opportunity, economic, political, environment, and in social realms. Consciousness raising refers to the process of enhancing people's awareness of themselves, of others, or issues in the social environment. It empowers people to view themselves positively and realistically. Mutual aid refers to the act of providing support, feedback, and information within the group context. Power is the ability to move people on a chosen course to produce an effect or achieve a goal. Empowerment involves social workers striving to improve the following traits of individuals, groups, or communities. And they include having a positive sense of self, worth, and competence, letting you know that you are important, you are capable of getting things done. The ability to influence the course of one's life. You have control over what you do. You can make and follow plans to accomplish your goals. The capacity to work with others to control aspects of public life. You are an important part of the community and other larger systems and can work with others to improve the community's quality of life. In collaboration with others, you can make improvements in your community and in the organizations where you work and in other groups in which you belong. The ability to access the mechanisms of public decision making. You can vote, and you can communicate your expectations to decision makers at all levels. Also, in regards to multicultural socialization, groups should strive to identify and be sensitive to and appreciate any differences that might exist among members, including such factors as ability, race, class, gender, sexual orientation, and age, creating a cohesive group. A diverse group will help enhance any group or community to achieve their goals. In discussing examples of the interventions used in regards to empowerment theory, according to Kirst Ashman, an underlying theme of empowerment theory is that society is structured so that some groups are oppressed and denied their rights to resources, free choice, and equal opportunity. Action groups can be formed to address these issues and advocate for positive change. Treatment groups also can and should assume the empowerment approach. Empowerment theory is used in groups, such as neighborhood watch organizations. They are formed based on community issues with delinquency and criminal activity in communities by members banding together to look out for each other. Residents work together to advocate for youth activities or educational opportunities as a positive alternative to delinquency behavior. Citizens can work with other organizations by educating children about drugs, abuse, and prevention. The Handbook of Community Psychology, an empowered community is expected to comprise well-connected organizations that are both empowered and empowering. It also has settings for citizen involvement in activities such as neighborhood crime prevention, planning commissions, and healthcare. This requires several different types of voluntary organizations, resource accessibility for all members of the community, and equal opportunities for involvement. Empowerment theory connects individuals' well-being with a larger society and political environment and suggests that people need opportunities to become active in community decision-making in order to improve their lives, organizations, and communities. Individual participants may develop a greater understanding of decision-making process, develop self-confidence to influence decisions that affect their lives, and work to make their concerns known. Organizations may be empowering even if policy change doesn't become achieved, because they provide settings in which individuals can attempt to take control of their own lives. Communities may enhance opportunities for residents to participate in the policy process even if battles are lost. A community can be empowered because the citizens engage in activities that maintain or improve their collective quality of life. In regards to statistical success rates of the empowerment theory, simply by causing one to have and become self-confident and engaging and becoming empowered to participate in groups and improve communities, there is no loss there. Empowerment theory is perfect to utilize with marginalized population, including rural communities. Individuals in any community can come together and create a group for a cause or a need, especially oppressed populations. According to the Handbook of Community Psychology, social workers can work with communities by implementation and evaluation of the target population. The social worker's role is to be the collaborator and facilitators rather than the experts and the counselors. As collaborators, professionals learn about other participants through their cultures, their worldviews, and their life struggles. The professional works with participants instead of advocating for them. The professional's skills, interests, or plans are not imposed on the community. Rather, the professionals become a resource for the community. They provide a framework of empowering strategies that focus on capacity building for individuals and groups in creating environments that support the development of empowerment. Every community, any group, any individual can utilize empowerment theory in practice. In looking at weaknesses in relation to empowerment theory when implementing this into practice, with the basis being strengths perspective principles, the strengths perspective principles correlate highly with the social workers code of ethics and the similarities that this perspective and theory have between strengths-based practice efforts and the social workers' commitment to in-person environment. There are concerns about the strengths according to Brune and Rapp. Some of those concerns are that this theory and perspective could be considered Pollyanna-ish way of looking at a person's deficits or a community's downfalls. Due to the strengths perspective not being a medical model, there's a lack of evidence that support it. Another criticism of this perspective is that it fails to define the responsibilities of the helping profession to create, through the work that they do with their clients, a society that functions with dignity and virtue, according to Glicken. The concern that the client does not take benefit in the help that is being offered to them or having access to resources and opportunity is a concern that this perspective has. Another concern is expressed is that the strengths perspective is just another way of reframing a person's or group's or community's deficits in a positive way. Could be viewed as superficial and just another way of saying positive thinking. It is the thought that just because people have strengths, it doesn't mean that those strengths will lead to change. Perhaps most seriously, this perspective has been criticized as ignoring objective reality, according to Brune and Rapp. We're going to focus on the strengths of empowerment theory when implementing it into practice. This approach is a social workers practice that has many qualities in helping with positive outcomes for individuals and communities. There is a focus on the client as the collaborator, as well as having a voice in their goals and aspirations. The environment is tapped into for its vast resources, and formal and informal supports are accessed. Focusing on human strengths is one significant strategy for helping reclaim a measure of personal power in their lives, according to Week, Rapp, Sullivan, and Kirchhart. Given the limitations of the perspective that were identified, strengths perspective principles are key in social work practice, especially case management work with individuals, families, and communities. This perspective and theory is a very hard work of helping clients and communities build something of lasting value from the social wealth and human capital within and around them, however slight it may be, according to Dennis Salovey. I see empowerment theory as being one of the most utilized resources that social workers would have. I utilize empowerment theory and strengths perspective every day in my work with child welfare through the child and family team meeting process. We empower families to have a voice in what is going on in their life, in their case. They facilitate family team meetings and establish their strengths and their needs and identify the goals that they want to achieve. In child welfare in Indiana, we want to empower families to reach their desired outcome and success. And that means having a healthy family and safe children. I have learned a lot from reviewing empowerment theory, and thank you for watching. And here are some things that empower me.